As cities across North Texas grapple with how to regulate short-term rentals, one group of neighbors was shocked to find out that a VA loan was used to purchase a short-term rental in their neighborhood.
A Fox 4 investigation takes a closer look at the VA loan program and who's watching over it. Fox 4's Lori Brown is live tonight with the story. Lori.
Steve, the purpose of the VA loan program is to help veterans purchase homes to live in. It's a program that can't work if it is instead used for risky investment properties. That is why one group of neighbors is speaking out.
Marijuana all over the place, front and back. And finally, I think it was probably 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning on Monday that we'd said, my wife said, that's enough. I can't take it.
Bill Schlegel relives the frustration he experienced last June with the loud music and lots of traffic at a short-term rental home in his Keller neighborhood. Keller police responded and made 2 arrests. STRs are under fire in many cities for examples like this, a revolving door of guests who make life miserable for those who live nearby.
The dope, the marijuana smell was so strong in his house. I thought, you got to be kidding me, this is the next night.
The home listed on Airbnb and Vrbo is advertised as being able to sleep 14 for $700 a night. Frustrated homeowners told their old neighbor, the seller of the home, about the constant stream of weekend guests renting it.
She said, well, that isn't right. It shouldn't be for rent because he purchased our home on a VA loan.
Neighbors obtained this document dated January 22, 2022, showing the Department of Veteran Affairs guaranteed financing to buyer James Cadet. According to the VA, to qualify for a VA-backed purchase loan, you must live in the home you're buying with the loan. Neighbors in 10 different nearby homes signed a letter sent to the VA in June, stating that at no time have they observed the owner living in the home.
My husband, I mentioned, is a vet, and it's really upsetting to know that somebody is manipulating the veteran system to get into a house with zero down or whatever when they're really an investor.
The VA responded to Bill Schlegel that the department received his reports but can only discuss the matter with the veteran. I received a similar response to my questions. As a matter of privacy, the VA Office of Inspector General does not confirm or deny individual complaints submitted. However, the VA OIG reviews all complaints received. I called Cadet, who according to his Facebook page lives in New Jersey. I identified myself as a reporter with Fox 4 asking about the property on Rush Creek Road in Keller, Texas. Here is how the conversation went. I said, I do a lot of stories regarding short-term rentals, and I've been informed you used a VA loan to purchase the property. James Cadet responded, I'm not going to speak to the press about this, so I'm not going to waste your time. Probably my neighbor who told you. I'm ending this conversation now. Thank you. Cadet hung up. I asked the VA Office of Inspector General how it makes sure a VA loan is not, in turn, used for a short-term rental. A spokesman said the lender may accept the occupancy certification at face value unless there is specific information indicating the veteran will not occupy the property as a home or does not intend to occupy it within a reasonable time after loan closing.
It's strictly intended to help service members buy a home, live in that home. If you don't follow those rules, then you shouldn't get the benefit.
I asked Steve Tolan, a board-certified criminal law attorney with experience in mortgage fraud, what protections there are to safeguard the VA loan program from fraud.
A veteran applied for a mortgage through the VA home loan program and intentionally and materially misrepresented that they were going to maintain that residence as their principal residence. That is a crime, so they can be charged at the state level or they can be charged at the federal level.
It is important to note that James Cadet has not been charged with any crimes and is not violating any city requirements because Keller does not regulate short-term rentals. Tolan says if the VA loan program is routinely misused, it could hurt the program for other veterans.
To have people commit fraud or not follow the rules and risk that the program could be shut down or curtailed in some way, well, that would be a tragedy for all the veterans who do follow the rules.
Does this create a black eye for the program?
I think that remains to be seen. Obviously, would hope that it doesn't.
Despite the neighbor's notice to the VA back in June, 5 months later, the home is still listed on Vrbo and Airbnb, and neighbors are still dealing with the uncertainty of who their next weekend neighbors will be.
We woke up to beer cans in our pool, and it's not what we expected as we live in this neighborhood.
We want answers. We want this to be resolved. Concerns about fraud can be reported directly to the VA and also the VA Office of Inspector General. We've put a link to those websites as well as the hotline phone number with this story at fox4news.com.